Awesome, awesome. So when you first got these like character descriptions for this audition, like how did you come up with these voices to send in your audition? Like, do you have like a specific method? Did you just kind of like improvise, or like how did you kind of come up with these voices?
You know, I mean, going back to the question you were talking about before about voice acting and stuff like that. I just want to wrap that one up really quickly. Voice acting, there is really, in a performing role, I don't think there's anything harder to do to be authentic and to be convincing. There are plenty of on-camera actors, even stage actors, that could get away with a large part of the performance is what they look like. They could kind of have a little look, you know, Clint Eastwood, you know, he's got a look and he tells a thousand things with just a look, but in voiceover, you cannot fake it. It has to all come from your heart, and I can't tell you how much passion all these guys bring into this stuff, you know. It's a fantasy story and stuff like that, but there's a lot of emotion, a lot of heart in it, and there's no faking it. You could have either, you know, great actor, tons of training, but you go in that booth and it doesn't lie. It does not lie. You can't get away with a part, you know, in a movie where, well, they look good, or they have a little way they walk is kind of cool, so that might work. Can't fake it in voiceover. So all these guys, most of them are very modest about it, but they're training what they had to do to get to where they are, and the people they had to beat out to get these roles in this gigantic game. It's, you know, legions of people they had to beat out to get that. And sometimes it's just a nuance, and that takes years and years of training to be that. And if anybody's looking to get into voiceover, and I am. Talk later, kid. Give me your card. But if you are, it's, you know, agreeing with them, several people about hanging out with the people that want to do it, hanging out with people that you know, believe in you. Make sure you get a microphone and do it every day, because if you're trying to do it, the people you're competing against are doing it every day. If they're not in a session, they're auditioning. If they're not auditioning, they're practicing. They're in a class or a workshop. So if you could get in workshops or anything like that, just involve yourself completely and practice every single day. Even if you open up a comic book or whatever it is, whatever kind of script you could find online, and there's tons of stuff you can find online. I feel like I'm ignoring everybody over there, so I'm going to do this right now. Actually, Jamie, that only goes this far, so I didn't pull it in. But you know, this cast was, you know, just joy to work with. As far as my introduction to voiceover was, you know, I am a live action director. I come from advertising, directing TV commercials and a couple features and stuff like that. And my representative told me about games and my background. I did Second City in Chicago and a lot of theater and stuff like that, just to become a better writer-director. But when the opportunity came up to direct, EverQuest 2 was my first big game, so that was 100 years ago. But that was 110,000 lines of dialogue, so it was a very big game, and boy, it was something to jump into and get that practice and learn from the actors also as a director, but to learn from the actors and to see what they do just blew me away. And so I'm Sidon, as the client asked me to do that role. I was very proud to do that role because they saw me doing line reads with people, and they're just like, oh, why don't you do Sidon? And we thought it was just going to be a small, you know, kind of character. And they called me 2 days after the release, so like, yeah, this character's getting big. Like, oh, okay, cool. So to reiterate that, and then your first question when you started asking about, I'm sorry.
Yeah. How did y'all come up with these voices when you first got your audition scripts?
Well, I'll pass it to these guys, but what I try to do with my casting, called casting sides, where you're sort of a description of the character and sort of a description of the scene and lines of dialogue. So they get a little bit, and I try to give as much as I can, and you know, sanitizing the script without giving them too much, but giving them enough to play with and experiment with, and then they take it from there.
I just have to say really quick, because we're all spreading the love all over. I was really surprised to find out that you came from like an advertising background. Because let me tell you guys, I've worked with a lot of directors who are all very amazing, but Jamie's ability to like tease out a subtle, emotional, nuanced performance was like on a level that I hadn't experienced before. So,
yes, I second that.
Don't be slow to consider.
Hire us again.
So in terms of character creation, so for this particular audition, I guess we had we had some descriptions that, as Jamie said, were sort of sanitized. They had a kind of age range, a kind of archetype. I think I knew that she was a princess and that she had a sort of, I guess, relationship with her father that was, she put the weight of the world on her shoulders. I remember something like that from the description. And that, but interestingly enough, in the description, the age sort of shifted around. Like it was like 17 or maybe older or maybe timeless. And I was like,